Well, hello. My name is Gia and welcome back to Lucid9. Last time, we went to the karaoke bar with Masato, Rui, Yahiko, and Ari, and we were singing. And they sang great. Even though it's my voice doing all of their voices and everything. It was fun, you know? Then, we went to go see Mr. Ryota, and we talked a little bit about the disappearances in quotation marks because they're basically murders, but the cops don't want to say it, they don't want to scare the public, you know? And now, after leaving Mr. Ryota's office, we got a call from Shigure, and she's like, "Come with me." She picks us up, and now we're in an alley somewhere. So, let us continue. Shigure takes a turn into an area that I instantly recognize, for better or for worse. Nothing is as welcoming as the smell of rotten litter, cigarettes, a trace of burning drugs. I cover my face with my sleeve in a vain attempt to block out the foul smell. Ah yes, Islos. Well, everything except like, burning drugs, that would be like marijuana, right? So yeah. Well, you know what, this is basically Islos. Where I live, because fuck man, people like to fucking take pictures where I live because it's it's a historical thing of Islos, and it's like blah blah blah. Like, yeah motherfuckers, but don't block my shit. Alrighty. Isn't this District 6? Don't tell me you're giving me another test, aren't you? A quiet Shigure is far more unnerving than an abusive one. I almost miss her cannon of verbal assaults. "We have arrived." She gestures to a large, beaten-down apartment complex before us. The dilapidated buildings and littered streets around us don't do wonders for this district's notoriety. Fuck man, I can't read that word. District's notoriety. That's for sure. What are we here for? An inkling in the back of my mind whispers, "To kill you without anyone seeing," but I shove it into some crevice in my brain. Shigure withdraws a simple index card from her jacket pocket, showing it to me. This. There's only 3 numbers written on it. 338. What's that? An apartment number? She only nods. I follow her down the path between the apartments, surreptitiously glancing around for any signs of suspicious figures. This is definitely not my idea of a vacationing spot, that's for sure. Finally, Shigure comes to a short stop in front of a door with the numbers 338 embroidered on it. She clears her throat for a second, takes a deep breath, and knocks lightly thrice. Is it a guy or girl? Fuck it. Whatever voice I come up with. Give me a minute. The voice that comes from within the apartment is light, feminine, and nothing like what I expect. It's followed by the sound of scraping, shifting, and screeching, as if a number of heavy objects are being moved around the room. Come on. No, it's a female, right? Come in. Shigure tries the doorknob, and it turns with ease. She pushes open the door, and I step inside, unsure what to expect. The front room is neat, tidy, and utterly plain. The only mess featured is a few cushions scattered idly about the floor, topped with several popular magazines. Well, if it isn't the great detective herself. Who the fuck are you? My attention turns to the large couch near the center of the room, upon which lounges a small framed girl. Her clothes are edgy, but neat. Although her eyes are deep chocolate brown, there's something of the coldest I've ever seen. I swear I've seen her before. What brings you to this side of town, Inamoto? Shigure sits on a nearby cushion, stiffly. As always, I am deficient of requisite intelligence. Oh yes, you're always lacking in intelligence. Shigure bristles. Of the informative sort. The girl only smirks and turns to me. The predatory glint in her eyes snap everything into place. Nasuki Tanaka. The interesting, unnerving friend of Elizabeth Oshiro. The way she sits, the clothes she wears, even the color of her eyes, they're all drastically different from school. But I know it with certainty that she's the same person. That angle to her expression, the tilt of her posture, it's the exact same. Oh, how interesting. I thought that I had a swarm of questions, that I'll be shocked, but I'm not. Not really. I almost feel like a small part of me had been expecting something this odd, especially from Nasuki. Is being a student just a cover, or are you actually one? To be or not to be? Surely that is the question. Shigure clears her throat impatiently. As content as the two of you appear exchanging pleasantries, I am here regarding a matter of urgency, Nasuki. Nasuki raises a single eyebrow. You know my price. Ah yes. How much yen shall? Don't feign ignorance, Ishimoto. It doesn't suit you. Your almighty brain should be able to remember something as trivial as my currency. Shigure flushes at this. What? Certainly you didn't think I would forget something as important as that. Shigure mumbles something indiscernible? I don't fucking know. While pulling her cap over her face. Maybe that's why she was so quiet. She wasn't angry at me. She was dreading coming here. What would you want? What would you have me do? Nasuki catches my eye, a mischievous glimmer in her gaze. What's your favorite animal, Ishimoto? And do choose something reasonable, not a duck-billed platypus, yes? For what? She only winks at me. I guess I have to give her an animal to find out. Let's see. Dog, cat, chicken. Fuck, man. I love all these animals. Like dogs, cause we have a dog outside. A cat because I've always wanted to have a cat since I was a kid. And chickens, I'm not gonna lie, cause we're right here, my grandpa's property. Like, my grandpa used to have chickens here. He used to have cages of chickens. And don't get me wrong, they're not free-range chickens. We had them in cages and everything. But, like, it wasn't his, he was just taking care of our friends. I was like feeding them and everything. I hated those fucking chickens every morning. Every time, like around 4:30 to 5 a.m. You hear, cuckoo! From the roosters and shit. But nah, man, chickens, cause it reminds me of my grandpa. Chicken, I guess. She smirks at Shigure, who sends me a look of horror. Ishiyami, we will need another talk concerning your pay. Nasuki cheerily vanishes into the adjacent room. When she emerges after a few minutes, she's holding a full-size chicken costume. Put this on, Ishimoto. Grumbling, Shigure yanks the costume over her clothes and zips it up. Wait, what? Dude, if only she had a fucking chicken costume, like, you know what I mean? When she disappears, she just gets the fucking chicken costume. There, satisfied? She really did put it on. Give me a nice loud buck buck buck. Buck 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 buck. Seeing Shigure so subdued is pretty unnerving. I can't believe that such a proud person would stoop so low. Just what kind of person is this Nasuki? Now, Yama Ishimoto, a chicken is incapable of speaking English, so you'll have to be Shigure's mouthpiece. Before that, however,
I believe we have some catching up to do. What are an ordinary...
Fuck.
What are you, an ordinary, ignorant civilian, doing caught up in the nasty business like student murders?
I want to fight for what's right to party. Fuck, man. No, I just work for Shigure, you know. I've been working for 2 years, for a couple of days already. I'm getting pay that I haven't even seen yet. And life is doing pretty good. Solving murders and everything. I work for Shigure.
Dear Inamoto picked you to work for her. Oh, isn't that precious? Two useless fools bumbling around together. A washed-up, headstrong detective who is blinded at the first sign of murder.
Of
murder. And an irresponsible, selfish teenager who takes nothing seriously.
Isn't Shigure a professional detective? At least we're trying to help, like the fuck, why you gotta be a bitch? You're right, we're still learning, but at least we're trying to help.
It would be better for you to leave this to the professionals.
You can't exactly say that the police are doing a much better job.
Please, the police are about as professional as taco-selling clowns. Are you not aware of the pathetic state of their CCTV coverage? Why, one can hardly see anything that happens around the city. I'm sure Inamoto found this as an unpleasant surprise while she was investigating into the school. Really? The students' observation with privacy is just adorable. Think how easy the killer could be caught with a few more cameras installed.
Then, who are these so-called professionals? FBI? Interpol? Whatever the fuck Japan's equivalent to an FBI?
People with knowledge. Knowledge is power.
Hence why we want it.
Oh? For what purpose?
I'm gonna sell it like you. Well, I'm gonna help others. The fuck? Oh. You know what I'm thinking? Do we need to keep her happy? Like, if she's smiling and we answer it correctly, she'll give us the information? Because if I'm like, we're trying to help people, and it's like,
I'm sorry, but does helping people have a price tag? Because I don't want to help people for free. I'm sorry. You better pay me my hourly wages.
Let's see. Now I'm just gonna do what I'm gonna do, you know what I mean? I'm gonna answer it truthfully. We're here to help people. And that's who I am in life as a person. Because why the fuck not? Because I'll use it to save lives and stop this repulsive killer.
Oh, how childish.
I'd rather be childish than be a pretentious jerk. She only laughs at this.
You're cute. Maybe I should keep you. Can I keep him, Inamoto?
I will not. She waves her index finger at Shigure.
What are chickens supposed to say, Inamoto?
Bok. Bok you.
I think that means I can help you.
Her treatment of Shigure sends a spiral of nausea straight to my gut. What a deplorable human being. I don't even have an answer for her. Natsuki evaluates my expression for a long moment, and something in her face changes slightly.
Would you like a drink?
Well, that wasn't sudden at all. What are you gonna do, poison it?
That's a bit of a rude assumption.
Not exactly a baseless one.
I do show courtesy to my guests.
Yeah, because you've been so very courteous. She continues to examine me, a slight smirk pulling at her lips.
Good to know. You aren't as weak as you appear. Would you like coffee? Tea? Milk?
Some manners would be nice. She ignores this, heading out of the room. She frantically calls behind her as she leaves.
I wonder what our little chickadee should have. I do have some moldy corn I've been meaning to throw away. Maybe I can dump it in a bowl for her.
Shigure huffs at this, but keeps her mouth shut until Natsuki has completely left the room. Then she pulls herself over to me, her voice low and urgent. Take control of the conversation and get the information. I can't stand much of this. How am I supposed to do that? I don't even know enough about the case. Natsuki has amazing connections. She has information of a lot of others don't. And so long as I pay her what she wants, we can get it from her. What am I supposed to ask about? Shigure opens her mouth to answer, but at Natsuki's approaching footsteps, she quickly shrinks back onto her cushion. Natsuki re-enters the room, placing a glass of iced tea before me, a glass of water before Shigure. I surreptitiously sniff it, which she catches.
If you don't mind indirect kisses, I could sip it for you to prove it isn't poisoned.
I'll pass. She smirks, settling on the couch. Guess this is my chance to ask some questions. So, how do you and Shigure know each other? Shigure shoots me a dark glare, as if to say, what does it have to do with anything? But I ignore it.
As you may have noticed, we have this symbiotic exchange from time to time. I have information that she needs, so she pays me for it.
How can we know that this information is reliable? You could be lying to us. Natsuki raises an eyebrow, seemingly impressed.
Ishimoto thought the same on our very first interaction, so I gave her a free trial period. She's yet to find me wrong. Isn't that right, Chiki? Well?
Bok.
And there you have it.
She turns to me expectantly, as if waiting for my move. I wonder what I should ask about. The culprit, the victims, links or ties. Well, that one's stupid. Well, the third one, like links or ties. Because you gotta start the beginning. The victims, right? Because fuck the culprit, she's not gonna give it up right away. You start with the victims. Then you link them to either the school or some other place, the forest maybe, where you fucker was like going crazy. Then the culprit. You don't want to go right away to culprit. I don't think she's gonna tell us right away. So the victims. Tell me about the victims.
There were 3 today and a 4th on the way.
How do you know that?
A criminal never stops until his goal is met or he is caught. If neither of those occur, there will be a 4th.
Well, yeah, that is pretty true. Have you ever watched Criminal Minds? Like, most serial killers are not caught until, whatever their goal in their mind is successful, or they are caught by the police, or dead. You know what I mean? That's how, murders stop for, a killing spree person. Because this basically is a killing spree. What is it? It's been, a couple days? And, this is gonna be the 4th one already, after the 3rd disappearance? So this guy is, going pretty fast. Do you know his goal?
I know it's not met. The victims appear to have no rhythm or reason to their disappearances, but that is false. Everyone is simply looking at the wrong thing, including you.
Which means...
Well, instead of looking for a connection between the victims, it would be best to look for connection with the killer.
Fuck. Really? It would have been the culprit? Which is difficult to do if we don't know who the killer is.
I wonder.
The topic is looking at a dead end. I should try something else. This motherfucker. It's gonna be linking. I know it's gonna be links or ties. But it could be fucking culprit. Tell me about the culprit. He's clearly killing these people for some reason, right? They're all from the academy. From what you learn from Ryota, they all have some kind of mental health problems. So yeah, the culprit. Tell me about the culprit. These serial murderers aren't. These are serial murderers, are they?
Oh, certainly. What would you like to know first? Age, legal name, address, social security number, place of residence?
She's joking, right? She has to be joking.
Obviously, if such things could be so easily known, the police would not be scrambling for clues, as they currently are.
Fuck, I know it is links and ties. I should fucking pick that. Joking, of course. There's no way it could be that easy. So, what can you tell me about the culprit?
Well, for that, you may have to do a little thinking of your own. Consider the number of student disappearances has skyrocketed just recently. Why?
Because the killer just got started.
With such a clean getaway?
Then the killer's working with someone.
A valid possibility, but think simpler.
The killer changed targets to the academy.
I wonder.
It would be more useful to interrogate a teapot. I decided to try a different line of inquiry. I knew it was this one, but it's like, I want to be like an actual detective. Like, we start from the beginning, we get to like the middle, like links or ties, and we end up with a suspect. If this case relates to any other cases, or perhaps there's some info that we can merge.
Now you're asking the right questions. You know that too?
Oh fuck.
You know, the two of you have been so explanatory that I'll give you a little treat. What do you say?
Sure, I guess. Natsuki doesn't seem to be fazed by my lack of enthusiasm. She slowly leans forward, enunciating each syllable with painstaking precision.
The independent killings.
These mean nothing to me, but Shigure immediately bolts upright, her eyes glimmering with excitement. Tanaka, you must.
You're not in Narnia, Ishimoto. Talking animals do not exist.
Shigure solemnly settles to the ground, but I can tell that this is a vital breaking point. What are the independent killings?
For the past 2 years, 2.5 perhaps, there has been sporadic brutal murders all around Isamu. Innocent civilians with no relations to one another were massacred in the most terrible of deaths, left as bleeding corpses in the streets. The only connection was their time of death, which was always at night, and their autopsy, death by blood loss from unaccountable lacerations.
Unaccountable lacerations? My head spins. My vision from the forest this morning re-enters my thoughts. What does that even mean? They were cut to pieces? Skinned alive? Sliced until the life bled out of them? Is Nasaki implying that the 3 students at the academy went through something like that? How can no one know about this?
The police did their utmost to conceal knowledge from the public, lest even more chaos fall on the city.
We deserve to know when these things happen.
Oh, Ishimoto, the last thing you want to do is tell a herd of sheep that there is a wolf in their midst.
Well, yeah, people will go fucking crazy. I'm not gonna lie, man, like, imagine where you live. Like, imagine living in a small town or like a city where, you know, people don't want to go like outside to the other communities, right? Like, that's where they want to live, the city or small town. Now say that there's a murderer out there that murders people indiscriminately. No race, no age, no gender, just is out there murdering people. Would you be scared to go outside? That knowing if you go outside, it doesn't matter who you are, you might get killed by the killer. At least with like serial killers, like in medias and all that, like there's certain victimology. There's a profile on how they target their victims, like race, gender, or whatever. And if you know that, it's like, phew, I got nothing to worry about. But this person, no rhyme or reason, just kills you. You'll be scared. Everyone will be scared. Like, you, man, woman, child, black, white, it doesn't matter. You would be scared. It's like, what if they get me? What if I'm next? I don't want to go outside. I'm scared. And then there's people who will probably write the police like, you gotta do something. You've been killing these people, like, suspects, right? Of color, but you're not catching the murderer. Like, do something, right? You're doing the wrong thing. Do something right for once. Like, you'll see a lot more rights, you know what I mean? The way she says this, as if she's right, and that there's all this, and that's all there is to it, irritates me. But I have to push it away in order to continue the conversation. So you're saying that this case is the same as the independent killings?
Did I say that?
Then the killer is the same?
Did I say that?
Shigure leaps forward, words trembling excitedly out of her mouth. The killer is one and the same, for the longest time.
Hush, Ishimoto. Remember, chickens can't speak.
Shigure withdraws, a dark glare in her eye. Why do you treat Shigure like that?
You can't say that even after seeing how she treats everyone around her? She pretends as if everyone around her is trash beneath her feet. I'm simply giving her a taste of her own medicine.
That's not exactly the best line of logic, but I guess if I had the power of Shigure, I wouldn't want her to forget in a hurry. Still, this method just feels wrong. Even I have a hard time stomaching her treatment, and I'm not even going through it. It'll be better if I can consult her. I'm not sure what to ask.
Then, how about something more interesting?
Such as? He lounges against the couch.
Well, for one, yesterday you were in the most compromising position of Rui Hayata on the Ferris wheel.
A bolt of ice plunges in my stomach. I thought she only knew general information, mystery information, crime information. How could she know about that?
It seemed there's quite an interesting story behind that.
Who told you?
You presumed that someone needed to tell me in order for me to know?
Did you access the security cameras?
That's certainly an interesting possibility.
Nothing she says is satisfactory. Nothing. How did you know? How did you know about that?
The same way I know that you were in District 6 3 nights ago on Inomoto's ridiculous capacity test. The same way I know that you watched the most
Fuck. Let me drink my water. Man, this is getting really interesting.
The way I know that you watched a most interesting, adamant, mindless robot fight at the theme park. The same way I know that your apartment code is a frankly pitiful 14789.
She pauses, her eyes glittering in amusement.
Womanly intuition.
She's insane.
I make it my business to know everything, Ishimoto.
I work to speak past my dry throat. No one can know everything. No one.
You're right. I just know everything that matters.
I raise the glass of iced tea to my lips, but my hands are shaky. Why are you telling me this?
Because, well, I have a little message for you.
She elegantly rises to her feet, but her eyes have regained their cold sheen.
Back off, Yama Ishimoto. You don't know what you're dealing with.
She grabs the glass from my frozen hands and heads to the kitchen.
Don't forget the animal on your way out.
Shigure, seething. Okay. Shigure, who's seething with a mixture of rage and humiliation, promptly rips off the costume. Tanaka, you are withhold. Natsuki swiftly whips around, staring Shigure dead in the eyes. Then, in one fluid motion, she stuffs something in Shigure's pocket and whisks into the kitchen. Shigure stares at whatever Natsuki gave to her, then motions sharply to me. Ishimoto, we are leaving, now. I don't even get a say as I'm forcibly dragged out of the apartment and back to the street. We stagger into the cutting night air, out of breath, and stoop over in shock. I take a moment to gather my thoughts before I can force out any words. Why did he bring me here? To be miserable? To show me I was over my head? To give me yet another reason why I'm an incompetent subordinate? I can't handle her alone. I don't think we handled her together. Actually, that was the most bearable she's ever been. Either my Shigure translator just became embedded with my subconscious, or this woman is speaking like everyone else. Not only that, but she actually gave a compliment that wasn't backhanded. Who is this imposter, and what has she done with Shigure? Nevertheless, Ishimoto, you're fired. Wait, what? Did she just call me by... But wait, she's firing me? Yes, I'm firing you. You have fulfilled all necessary services. I no longer see reason to expend resources on a useless assistant. She seems almost back to her normal. She almost seems back to normal. Almost. But it's too abrupt for me to believe that she's being genuine. If you interfere with my work, I'll have you detained. I have connections with the police. I would prefer not to use it, but I will if I must. Why? Oddly enough, Shigure seems to falter at this simple inquiry. It's for your own safety. You must trust me. How about no? You fuck off. I'm gonna go look at some more shit. Because I know more shit than you. Trust. That's a nice word. And this has nothing to do with Nasuki's warning on how I should stay out of this. Truly, you were my assistant for a reason. What's that supposed to mean? It is a little consequences. You were fired because you no longer fit the job. I clenched my jaw to hold back my impulse of anger. Which was basically being an errand boy? Pardon me if I failed to see the extensive qualification that an errand boy needs to fulfill. Let me tell you my own theory, huh? The independent killings, you know an awful lot about them, considering that they're supposed to be hidden from general public. You were involved in those cases in some way, weren't you? And when you noticed that 2 students had disappeared from the alleged Impervious Academy, something clued you in that they must be tied to the independent killings. Maybe it was evidence, probably just intuition, considering that you have to get Nasuki to confirm it for you. Ishimoto, you do not understand. So. You saw that students were disappearing from the academy, and 4 days ago, you decided you needed to get inside and figure out for yourself what was happening. But security's tight. You couldn't hope to just snoop around unless someone willingly let you in. In the midst of my indignant wrath, the puzzle's pieces begin to shuffle in place, pulling together faint memories that I ought to had forgotten. So, you had to approach a student. You had to make a specific connection, someone who would let you investigate the school without asking any questions. You hired me before you were officially brought into the investigation after all. Well, it's true, isn't it? You just needed me. You just needed to use me to access the academy. That's why you approached me on the street that day. Go home, Ishimoto. She says this wearily. I can only sign disbelief. Then, what was the test for? Why did you send me to some place that was dangerous, some place I couldn't handle? But I had, and I did, and I solved all of our stupid little puzzles. I had proven myself fair and square. For what? Being tossed away like garbage? No. Now I understand. What upsets me is not that Shigure approached me with ulterior motives. I expected ulterior motives from everyone. What upsets me is what she's doing now. Tell me how. Ishimoto. Tell me, Shigure, how do I prove myself? Give me some riddle or logical puzzle or, I don't know, a complicated piece of Sudoku? I'm supposed to help. Supposed to be your assistant. Shigure slams her foot into the nearest trash can. It doesn't trample, but the reverb of letter against tin stops me in my tracks. She leans close, eyes narrow with intensity. Ishimoto, I will only say this once. You may think you fully understand the circumstances which surrounds these crimes, but you are sorely mistaken. Do not be so quick to forget that I am nearly a decade your senior, and I have seen a great many cases that are beyond your comprehension. I speak not of your intelligence, but your mental capacity. You are yet very frail, Ishimoto, and this case may break you. That didn't worry you before? Then let me ask of you this. Are you ready to physically examine a body that has been masterfully taken apart by a sadist with all the time in the world? No, just the thought of that makes me queasy. There has to be something else I can do. Enough. I tire of this conversation. This is my decision, Ishimoto. I will be certain to compensate you. I will be certain to compensate you for the time you spent until now. Go home safely. So, that's it then. Because I'm still young, because I'm too unstable to be able to see a mutilated body, I can't be of any use. Shigure. Farewell, Ishimoto. Let us not meet again. And just like that, she turns away on her heels and strides away. For a moment, I stand frozen in the streets, watching her figure melt into the smoky evening air. Didn't I want a quiet senior year? A year of breezing by with my friends? No fuss, no muss? I had always wanted a quiet life, probably something that involved managing the family restaurant, which I had neither passion nor patience for, but seemed like the least painful option in the lot of life. Really, I can't blame Shigure, can I? No, some part of me still feels like I deserve a better explanation, maybe even a reward. After all, didn't I get her something vital from Nisuki Tanaka? Ah, no, that's right. I'm withholding information from her. Information that I gathered from a confidential informant. Perhaps she doesn't trust me, but neither have I been trusting her. If anything, this encounter only solidified my decision. I don't know what will happen. I can't predict the actions of the people who are close to me. All that's left is to look around and keep digging, try to pull things together myself, even if I'm just a random student at a random stuck-up school. Which means I need to start with everything. Fuck. Let me drink some water. Fuck, this game is getting really good. It was really slow. Like, literally, the episodes before, like, maybe 3 episodes ago, like, after the amusement park, that's when this game started to get really good. Which means I need to start with everything weird that's happened over the past few days. Weird. Such as emails from unknown senders sporadically popping up. Pretty convenient timing when I think about it. Maybe I should send something random. See how they respond. Am I gonna send the... Really? Okay, let me read this. At first, I thought there was something stupider than doing something that made no sense, regardless of whether I enjoyed it or not. Today I changed my mind about that. There are things worth doing, even if, at first glance, they make no sense. There are things that can be appreciated, even if they serve no use. There are things that deserve to be given a chance, even at their worst. But I didn't realize it until too late. Send. Now to head back home and get some rest. Guess it's been a long day. I dream of pools of sludge and laughing bones and shards of glass slipping across the edge of my skin. Alrighty. And I am gonna end it there.
But yeah, why? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué, Mr. Gat? ¿Por qué?
You wanna know why? Because I feel like this game is gonna be very long the next couple of episodes. I feel it getting really dragging on with interesting shit, which I cannot skip. I'm feeling the next couple of episodes will be maybe an hour, maybe 50 minutes long. And I want to mentally prepare for that. Not just mentally, but like, you know, keep it at a good pace. Like, literally, I don't want a game to be like, keep reading for like an hour and like stop it at something random like I always do. I want to stop it where it's like the next day or like before the next scene or whatever. That's what I like to do. So I'm gonna end it here and we'll continue tomorrow. And if you don't know it, I'm gonna be posting when I'm making videos and when I don't. I have an actual schedule now, which I'm feeling happy about it. I won't be making videos on Saturday and Tuesday. Other than that, I'll be making videos every day. Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday. 5 days out of the week, you'll be hearing my beautiful, beautiful voice. Every step of the way. Not gonna lie, please check it out. Like, and if you don't get that far in this video, look down in the comments. Just like, read it. It'll be right there. It'll be like, my schedule will be every day, new videos every day, except Monday, no, what was it? Saturday and Tuesday. I almost forgot about it. Man, I need to keep a schedule because, like, I don't want to be like that person that's just like gone for a while. Like I've done sometimes where it's like I don't post nothing that one day and you're like, where the fuck is the next Lucid9? Now, you know, whenever I'm gonna make a video. And oh my god, I am rambling, aren't I?
Yeah, you're just rambling right now. We don't give a shit about you. We don't even give a shit about your new profile picture, your new fucking logo and everything. Cause, you know, no one cares.
But you know what? Maybe someone will care in the future. Or maybe you do care. Maybe you stuck through the whole video. And I applaud you. And I say, thank you, my kind sir. Alrighty, anyway. This is Gat saying farewell. And as always, bye bye.